Alright, today we're going to talk about the surface area of prisms and pyramids. So we're going to start off with a prism. The surface area is the areas of all the faces. Surface area is area of all the faces. The combined areas. So you add them all together. Areas of all the faces. Okay, so let's start off with go ahead and draw this rectangular prism. This is our first example. So draw a rectangle and then draw the same exact rectangle, just a little below it, a little to the side. And connect your corners, corresponding corners. Okay, so this prism has some measurements that we're going to need to use. This side over here is 5 meters. This side is 15 meters. And this front side is 8 meters. So if you're really good at visualizing these 3D figures and you can say, okay, it's got a bottom and the top is exactly the same. And I know that 5 times 8 is 40, this is 40, and this is 40. So I'm going to write 40 and 40. And that's, and what I'm talking about is this bottom and the top. So 5 times 8 is 40. They're both 40. Now let's look at, let's look at this very front part. This front part is 8 by 15. So we calculate 8 by 15, and that gives us the area of the very front of our rectangular prism. That's 120. So this and the back here, this part here, they're both 120. So the front and the back, 120 plus 120. We only have, that's 4 sides. Our prism has 6 sides. So let's also look at these sides here. This side and this side. So this side is 15 by 5. So 5 times 15 is the area. So 75 is this side. And then this area is exactly the same. Now, I could do some of this mental math so I don't have to plug in all 6 numbers. I know that these two are 80. 120 would be 240. And 75 and 75 is 150. And maybe some of you can do that mental math. But now I have a lot less numbers to plug in here. So the total surface area, if we were to wrap this whole prism in like gift wrap, so that all the sides are covered, the whole surface area would be 470. So the SA for surface area is 470. Now because we're not putting something inside, we're finding the 2D area around the outside, we're going to keep it meters squared. So we're not cubing it. It's not how much fits inside. It's how much area goes around the whole thing. Now maybe that was, you didn't quite catch which sides that I was figuring out on this prism. Maybe it would be easier if you were to draw the net of this. So let's take this and draw the net. Like if we were to unfold the whole thing, we would have a rectangle that's 5 by 15, right? 5 by 15. Then we'd have another one that's 8 by 15. This is 5, this is 15, this is 8. Then we have another 5 by 15, and one more 8 by 15. And then we have our top and our bottom, which is 8 by 5. We have 2 of those. So this is 5, this is 8. So we have it all broken apart. We can just find the area of each of these rectangles. So if we were to do 5 times 15, that's 75. This is the same one right here, 15 by 5. These two little ones are 5 by 8, so that's 40. This is the same exact rectangle, 5 by 8, so that's also 40. And then these bigger ones are 8 by 15, that's 120. So this is 120 and this is 120. So I've just found all of our rectangle, the areas of our rectangles. And you can see that I have the same thing. I have 2 40s, I have 2 120s, and I have 2 75s. So all together has the same surface area because it's the same prism. So it's 470 meters squared. So you have 2 different ways that you can try it. You can try it by kind of shading in the sides and looking at all the sides and adding them up, or you can draw the net of what it would look like and find each individual rectangle. So that's the surface area of a prism first. So let's look at a pyramid. So let's draw this pyramid. Okay. Alright, so this pyramid has the dimensions. Say this is 9 inches. This is 8 inches. So that's our base. And it has a height. We'll have to use this height of 10. But it also has a slant height. We'll say this is our slant height. We'll say the slant height is 12 inches. So I'm going to look at each, I'm going to do what we did up here first. Just look at each, not do the net yet, but just looking at each face. If this is in your brain capacity, I think this is the easier way. Let's calculate the base area here, what I highlighted in orange. I'm sorry. There you go. So we're going to calculate this rectangle at the bottom here. So it's a rectangle, we're just going to do base times height, length times width. So 8 times 9 is 72. So that's one of the faces of our pyramid. This pyramid has 1, and then it's got 4 triangular faces. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces all together. So the one's here, and then the one it's sitting on. 5 faces. So the bottom is, what did I say, 72. And then we have 4 triangles, but this triangle is different than this triangle. See, this triangle is a base of 9. This triangle has a base of 8. And actually, I'm going to change this for a second. This should come down to here. So this line here is the slant height base. It's the height of this triangle face. Sorry about that. So it's 10 here, and it's also 10 here. So 10 and 10. So I'm going to go ahead and find the areas of all 4 triangles. I'm going to start with this first one. I'll shade it in. So it's this one, kind of the one that's facing us. See that triangle? So this triangle has a base of 9 and a height of 10. So I'm going to do 1/2 of 9 times 10. 9 times 10 is 90, divided by 2 would be 45. And this triangle is the same as this back triangle. This is 9, this is 9, this is 9. If the height is 10, the height is 10 here too. So I have 2 of them. So I'm going to do 45 and 45. So I'm talking about this front triangle and this back triangle. Both of those are 45. So now I have 2 more triangles to get. It's this one here. This one, and then it's the same on the other side. So we're going to do 8, and the height is 10. So we're going to do 8 times 10. Half of that is 40. And this one is also 40. And what we could do to make it faster is if we know we have 2 of them, we could just not half them. But I don't want to confuse you too much, so we're just going to write our 40 here and our 40 here. I'm going to combine these 2 so I have less to put in the calculator. This would be 90, this would be 80, and I have my 72. So I'm going to put all that in my calculator and add all those areas up. 72 plus 90 plus 80. So the total surface area is 242 inches, and we're finding area, so it's squared. Now, if that is hard for you to see all those different faces without them being totally like laid out, let's draw the net. So our base is a rectangle. And then we've got triangles that are attached to the base. Alright, I'm going to label the sides. So this is 9, this is 8, this is 9, and this is 8. I know this has a height of 10. And I think that's all I need. So my rectangle base is still 8 times 9, that's 72. This triangle is 9 times 10, which is 90. And half of that would be 45. This triangle has the same measurements. So this is 45. Over here, this is 8, but it still has a height of 10. So that would be 80, and half of that is 40. And this is the same over here. So if we have exactly the same measurements, so we know that it's going to, the surface area is going to be 242 inches squared. Okay, I'm going to give you a U try. What's up? We're going to do a triangular prism. So draw a triangle. Draw a straight line. And then another triangle down here, same size. Connect their corresponding corners. You can always pause the video if I'm going quickly. So here's the measurements you're going to need. This side over here is 14 meters. This is 14 meters. This is 35 meters. This triangle has a height of 7 meters, and this way is 15 meters. So go ahead and think about whether you can just do the faces as is and write them down, or if you want to draw the net, you can do that. Pause it and give that a try. Alright, I am going to find our two bases first. So the triangle here and here are exactly the same. They both have an area. It would be 7 times 15 divided by 2. Actually, because I have two of them, I'm not going to divide by 2. I'm just going to say that the total area here is 7 times 15. 7 times 15. Because I have two of them. Dividing by 2 and then multiplying by 2. So it's 105. So my two triangles add up to 105. Now I need to find my three faces. I've got this face right here. It's a rectangle. So I don't have to divide. I just have to... Uh-oh. I lost somebody's stick. I want them to be mad. Stephen Pardo, sorry. I put it back. So this rectangle is 14 by 35. 14 times 35 is 490. That's a lot. So this rectangle here is 490. And did you notice that this rectangle is the same, 14 by 35? So I have two of them. Oops. 492 times. So here and then over here. All right, all that's left is that very back rectangle, which looks like this. So this very back rectangle here, which is 15 by 35. 15 times 35. So that's 525. So our areas are kind of big today for this one. So let's add them all up. We got our rectangle, our two triangles, and another rectangle. So all 5 faces, because remember this is 2 of them combined. So 490 times 2, why not? Plus 105 plus that 525. Altogether, the surface area of our triangular prism is 1,610 meters squared. If you need to watch that again, feel free. That's why videos are nice. You got one more you try. It is a triangular pyramid. So go ahead and draw this. And then we've got our top. And connect all of your corners to the top there. Okay, the dimensions. Our triangular base, we've got, it has a height of 11 yards and a base of 15 yards. So we have our triangular base, and then we have, so this side, this 15 is the same as this, so this is also 15. And this is also 15. So all of the sides, this is an equilateral triangle that I've drawn. Okay, then we have this slant height. So this triangle right here has a base of 15, but then the height of the face is 10 yards. So each one, this height is 10. And the front is 10. So it has 1 at the bottom, and then 2 in the front, and then 3, and then 4. So it has 4 faces. So go ahead and pause it and find the area of the 4 faces and add them together. Okay, so the base is this triangle down here. 11 times 15 divided by 2. So 82.5 is the bottom. Now, all of the triangle faces are the same measure. They're all 15 by 10. 15 by 10. This triangle over here, this triangle here, this triangle in the front, they're all 15 by 10. So if I do 15 times 10 divided by 2, that equals 75. They're all 75. All 3 of them are. So you're just going to add it up. I'm going to multiply 75 by 3 and then add 82. That's 0.5. So the surface area is 307.5 yards squared. And there you go. So use this as a reference while you're doing your classwork and homework, and we'll practice these some more also next class. All right, bye.